She's just a girl and she's on fire, hotter than a fan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vanessa. Good morning, fabulous ladies, fabulous ETTM ladies.
How is everybody today? I hope everybody's doing really well.
I am doing really well. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm going to Nashville.
Well, good for you.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
at least somebody gets a little bit of vacation. I can't complain. I just got back, 2.5 weeks ago?
Yes, you were in the DR.
So,
that was a lot more pleasurable, I think, than Nashville. But nevertheless, I'm excited.
Well, have fun. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a lot of exciting things to share with everybody today. We have a special guest here, Jennifer Tuma Young, who wrote Balance the Scale.
Balance your life.
Balance your life, balance your scale. See, I write notes and I still don't get it right. She's here for a live interview today, and we're really, really excited about that.
Yes.
And a great meeting last night. It was my daughter's 12th birthday, so I didn't actually attend the meeting, but Vanessa ran the meeting, and I hear it went exceptionally well.
Well, we had expert organizer Kathy Roberts with us last night, and I have to say that just her infectious energy, the way that she just carries herself and how authentic and genuine she is, and the kind of advice that she gave last night was just on key for any busy woman out there just trying to get themselves together with their household. You know, she spoke a lot about, you can't say I'm giving up on home, because nobody really ever gives up on your home. And
Right.
she's like, everything that we do and we work for is for your home and to be part of the home. We're live, but I can't believe they're mowing the lawn behind us.
I
But
know.
you know what? It is what it is.
we
We
just, this is how we roll.
This is how we gotta roll. Wow. But her message was very on point. It was really wonderful, and she also gave out a special code for any ETT mom member that wants to sign up for her Tidy Tutor University. If you go
great.
onto her website, tidytutor.com, and put in the code ETTMoms, you will not only get $40 off her package, but she will also donate 30% to our charity, which is Enchanted Makeover. So
that's
I'm
great.
really excited about that. So the women who were there last night agreed. She was wonderful. So go ahead and take advantage of that, because that's a great saving. Plus, you're doing something amazing. She's going to give back
Absolutely.
through that as well. So
I actually used some of her stuff when she came to our women's
Yeah.
conference. I used a couple of little things,
Yeah.
just clean. She said, clean off the top of your dresser, because if you leave your jewelry and everything there, you'll never dust it. So
Yeah.
I got the plastic bins, like she said, and I
Yeah,
started. I mean, it was very helpful.
how many baskets have you found in my house lately?
Yes, Vanessa has a basket, I have to say, right on her steps with her sunglasses and her keys, because I've knocked it over a few times myself. So I'm trying to do that, but I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely. So we have, today we're talking about the power of connections.
We are, but we just want to show this
Oh,
real
absolutely.
quick.
Yay!
Our ETTM newspaper. We're very, very excited about that. You can go on to our www.ethinktankformoms.com website and find out more information. But we are going to have you see that Jennifer was actually in our spotlight last month's issue.
Yeah.
And we're looking for people that would like to advertise their business, tell their story. All the information's on Big Tent, so you can give us a call about that. When is the new one coming out?
The new one is coming out on June 21st. So
what's the
you have-
deadline for them to
The
get
deadline,
to us?
I would have to say, it's next Friday, so June 15th, because the printing, it goes to print and we have it the next day.
Okay.
So it's really exciting what's happening with the paper, and we can't wait to share everyone's story with the world,
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, let's get to our special guest.
Absolutely. Jennifer, thank you for joining us today. Come on in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Have
Welcome
a seat.
to our comfy
Okay.
couch.
All right. Woohoo. Comfy couch. All right. My two favorite ladies.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. You look so summery and beautiful
thank
today.
You. It's a beautiful day. So
Oh,
thank
absolutely.
you. You
That's
guys
why they're
look
mowing the
beautiful
lawn.
and summery too. Yeah, gotta mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So today
Real
we're
life, real mom.
Oh, absolutely.
Real life.
So we're going to be talking about the power of connections, and you know that you and I go way back, and I think that connections. I always talk about it in our meetings, how important they are to build on relationships, etc. But at the core, when we get down to the nitty gritty,
yeah.
it has a lot to do with just authentic and genuine connections with people, and I know you talk a lot about that in your book. Balance your life, balance the scale. This is actually you
Excellent.
The coverless book.
It does not have a cover. Well, because when I read, I kind of just dump that. But this is my signed copy. But if you have not gotten it, I can guarantee you that it will change your perception of how you see things. And I think that's really what's important when you can see things a little bit differently, and just to improve.
Adjust our focus lens, because everything in life we experience is through our lens, and so when we can shift it, our experience changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and connections with people open up.
So tell us a little bit about how, because really what I want people to take away from today is just how ultimately, connections, when you connect to someone authentically and genuinely, how does that not only help you grow on a personal level, but also in your business? Like, how
we're kind of like, the way I view it is we're kind of like puzzle pieces, and we all fit together. Collectively people do, and it's just being open to letting people come into our life, and the more real we are, the more connections we have. Even the book process, you mentioned the book, and I struggled like so many people do, and not knowing how to do something. How do I write a book? How do I get a book published? I went through many failures, many rejections. I just tried to reach out and ask for help and connect with as many people as I could. And ultimately, it was a connection with somebody and my vulnerability and being like, listen, I have no idea what I'm doing. Could you please, to somebody in the industry that did know that I happen to, there are no coincidences.
Oh, absolutely.
But there happened to be somebody, a friend of a friend on Facebook who was in the publishing world.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him and very open, not, trying to hide anything. Just, hey, look, I see you're in the publishing world. I have no clue about it. Can we please, I'll buy you coffee or something. Can we please talk? Yeah. And I feel like that connection of just being open and honest. And
see, I love what you're saying, because we talked about it last night at our meeting when if you ever get to, have you ever met Kathy Roberts?
Yes, at the wellness day.
She's just so what you see is what you get kind of style. Yes. And one of our members there was like, oh my God, I love her. Like, she's just, because she ultimately she ended up saying, she gave me permission to be myself. And what you're saying, you just you reached out to this person, no facades. Listen, this is what I'm going through. This is what I need help with.
Practically begging. Please, I've been through 40, 50, 60 rejections. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
What am I doing wrong? Can you shed some light? Yeah. And lo and behold, we have a book, right?
We have a book. And that wasn't to say that, it's funny because people mistake, having the right connection is how things happen. It's only part of the process. Yeah, exactly. Once he connected me to somebody who became my literary agent, ultimately, we worked for another 2 years before the book became the book and published and things like that. So it's not that the connection, whatever, but it does, what's interesting is that, you mentioned the realness. Mm-hmm. I always say that the facade of perfection, that we don't need any help, that we've got it all together, actually holds us back.
Absolutely.
And it just be real. Like, we're all a mess in our own ways. It's beautiful though, and I feel like we all ultimately, like, I know from me, I want to help people if I can. Don't you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And I can't help somebody if they don't ask me for it, and somebody can't help me if I don't ask. We want to be angels to each other.
Yeah. We just discussed that this morning. People reaching out to help, and they'll say one of us didn't help, and we're like, but you didn't reach out to us.
Yeah,
you need to reach out.
Yeah. And there's a balance, and not to overuse the word, because I just saw a bunch of stuff on Facebook yesterday about, like, don't let people pick your brain and things like that for free and all of that. And I get that to a certain extent, but I do feel like if you just show that you need the help and connect with people, if they can't, for whatever reason, they will lead you on the path that can, or give you some resources that can.
Exactly. And I think that, and again, what keeps coming up in these conversations,
and it's
like,
not just business too, life too.
Life. And bottom, and one of the things that Kathy also said last night, which I loved, was, you just talked about that. She said, we strive for perfection, but we don't want perfection. We just want happy.
Yeah.
And she's like, we don't want perfection. We want happy. And I was like, but when you see it, when you're able to be aware of that, then you can kind of like move forward and get your things together. And as disorganized as I am, I'm a working process, and I'm getting there.
I don't think you're disorganized.
Oh, please. Well, she said
Creative,
she said
imaginative.
she said organizationally challenged, which I loved. I was like, okay, that's a spin on disorganized. I'll take that. But bottom line was, just show up. Just show up as who you are.
Yes.
And what you're bringing to the table. I think that in business and in life, we feel like we have to separate the two. When in reality you can't, and you shouldn't, because ultimately people will end up doing business with you or connecting with you because of who you are. And the more we realize that, I think the easier time or ride we will all have, in the process, because we're just putting up facades. I have to look poised and when in reality I just want to like kick my feet off, and do my talk, which Kathy did last night with her shoes off. I loved it. I was like, okay,
I love that.
Okay, here we go. But again, it was just, listen, this is how I roll. This is who I am, and.
I did a meeting one time with 2 different boots on a Saturday morning, and nobody told me till the meeting was over. It was dark. I was getting ready, and they said that was the best meeting, and I'm like, see, it didn't matter that I did.
No, it doesn't matter. And I just think that sometimes we get caught up in the whole, I have to be a certain way, or I don't want to do this, or just be yourself, and the right things show up in our world. The right people.
What's your attitude? I want to ask you this question because it's going to be kind of continuous into our next show and some blogging we did.
What's my attitude?
What do you feel about what's your attitude on I hope everybody likes me type of a thing?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that we can get bogged down in that, wanting to please everybody, and women, we're pleasers by nature, and I feel like when we try to do that, it actually everybody doesn't like us. We don't take, if we stand for nothing, we have to, what's that quote? If you don't stand for anything, or you stand for something, you know what I'm talking about. We've got to just be who we are and stand for what we believe in. Mm-hmm. And the people that, there are people that might have different opinions than us, but hopefully they still respect us. Right. And I always feel like, what I see in others exists in me. And if somebody doesn't like me, not that it's their thing, but there's something that they see that's in them that maybe they have to work on. Right. And if I have that same aversion to somebody I know, try not to. I mean, I'm human, so after I cry for 10 minutes, after I cry in the corner, then I'm like, wait, it's fine. But I try not to. I work on that.
And I agree. I think that I know that it has a lot to do with what you blogged about, and then how I just intuitively knew, because you're going to read the quote.
Yeah, let me read it, because Vanessa has sent a quote out. The Bill Cosby quote. I love Bill Cosby. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody.
I've experienced this. I've actually said in my life, and in different ways, like I'm trying. But I've actually said, I'm trying to please everybody and nobody's happy. Like I've actually had those moments where I've done that. So I know.
But you can't. But you really can't. And honestly, you just have to. I always say, listen, your gut is your compass. Your gut is your compass, and if something is steering you in another direction, then listen to it, because you can feel it and you can sense it, and it's probably not meant to happen.
Jennifer, tell people how to get your book.
The book is called Balance Your Life, Balance the Scale, and you can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or on my website. Can I say my website?
Absolutely.
InspiredGirl.net. Connect with me there. Let's connect.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your light with the world. And ladies, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, and we're going to bring Jennifer back. Absolutely.
Yay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.
Closing music is not playing.
Hotter than a fantasy. Running like a highway. She's living in a world that's on fire. Filled with catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away.